Alright everybody, welcome to day 41 of my casting everyday challenge. Guys, I wanted to apologize for the last couple of days. I have been pretty busy. I've been studying for an exam coming up, and I'm going to have more exams down the line. So actually I'm going to get rid of this. Just realized that was up there. So I don't have a lot of time to cast today. I only have enough to try to find something quick, and I wanted to do something fun as well. So I went back to see Blizzcon, one of the first tournaments they've done, 2013. It's going to be the Keeper's Invitational, where this tournament was actually, instead of being the Conquest mode we see now, it was you lose with something, you can no longer use that deck. So you saw a lot of fairly quote-unquote aggro decks where it still took quite a bit of time to actually kill somebody. You'll see, like, I believe both these players are going to be playing Paladin, which is one of the most aggressive decks in the game at that point, and it's not really all that aggressive in today's standards. So I'm going to go ahead and cast it again. Sorry for being so busy, guys, but I'm going to try to get casting more often, do some more Strivewire tournaments, some more PTN stuff, just so I could get something for you guys. So thank you so much for sticking with me, and let's get started here. So like I said, I believe they are both going to be running that Paladin deck, which was more of an aggro zoo type deck. You wanted to use that 1/5 weapon that I can't think of the name of right now, where it would buff whenever you would summon something, and you would continually do that just to get the most value you can, because I believe it's, what, 3 mana or something like that to throw down, so it's very cheap to use in this. And just because these decks were very heavy on, so it was the Sword of Justice, that's what it is. So these decks were very heavy on wanting to put the minions down, and that's why Knife Juggler is also a big card. You see the unnerfed Knife Juggler and the unnerfed Abusive Sergeant in Crypt's hand right now. I love it, the 3/2 and the 2/1. Man, do I miss those. So we're going to see Crypt going to be most likely hanging on to at least the Knife Juggler. This was the stage in the game where actually getting rid of True Silver Champion wasn't the worst idea, only because it is very slow. You need a lot faster deck in this kind of game, which I'm going to put quotes around that, really. True Silver Champion was fine, but you could only really take rid of 1 minion at a time off, and there's the Consecrate, which is probably going to be pretty good in his deck list. As we see this Spellbreaker, still the 4/3, not really going to be used too much just yet. We see here that they do not have the technology to flip the cards just yet, so we're going to be going back and forth. The Avenging Wrath not going to really do too much until turn 6, and really at that point it's still not going to do much. 8 damage is fine and all, but if you're losing board presence having to use that, your opponent is just going to throw them on that board anyway right afterwards. So it looks like we might see a coin Knife Juggler here, which I would really like. There's not a lot of options turn 2 for a Paladin, which actually turn 2, I don't know if there are any answers at this point in the game, so I really like this. And at this point, Crypt might go ahead and throw down his own Knife Juggler just to contest with the other one. He does have to worry about maybe some quick 1/1s coming out on the board, but I don't think there's enough for the 2 to go into that Knife Juggler. As we see in his hand, we don't see any, but we're going to see that Archer Protector coming in. He's also drawing one as well. That's going to help him. He's going to be able to use that for that Knife Juggler. Keep it safe. Knife Juggler is basically the Flame Waker of the Mage class now, so go ahead and get rid of the Knife Juggler on Crypt's side, and really looking well for, who was it? I'm sorry, the name. What was the name? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting. It's Crippen. I don't remember. Oh my god, Artosis, was it? I'm not sure. I'm just gonna say Artosis. Oh, I see it on the side. Yeah, so it is Artosis. Okay, so he's going to go ahead, just clear off with that Sword of Justice, which is fine if you are able to keep your minions healthy now. I would have liked him to see actually throw in probably the Argent Squire in there, just because getting rid of 1 durability on that weapon can mean a 1/1 buff doesn't go on to a target down the line. I'll have to see if he had a 3rd one in his hand or not. So the Consecrate here getting mediocre value out of it. He's going to get rid of the Knife Juggler, which is huge. And we do see that there's not a lot of good options in the side of Artosis here. He actually really doesn't have a single good option. He's going to have to waste some kind of battle cry or just hero power pass, which at this stage is just really, really weak. Oh wait, no, he could hero power then Ardent Squire. That's probably what's going to be the best play for him now. Kind of glad that you could use that hero power first and then go ahead and buff up with that Divine Shield. So this was definitely the best play for him. He's going to have a 3/3 and a 2/2 with Divine Shield. Going to be a really good turn for him. And this is showing to have it'd be really rough for Crypt here. He doesn't have really a good answer except for using that True Silver here to go ahead and get rid of that 3/3 Ardent Squire, but still, he's still on the back foot. He's playing very reactively, and Artosis was able to just consistently put out minions, and it's working really well for him. The other Peacemaker not going to have a really good outcome in this scenario. He's going to have to debuff his own minion. So he might just go ahead and Defender of Argus this turn just to get some kind of taunt out there. He is going to be wasting half of that battle cry, but it's fine. Getting a 3/3 with taunt and Divine Shield is extremely huge, and now you have a 4/4 minion as well, which a 3-mana 4/4 minion, it was big at that stage. Look how True Silver Yeti, or True Silver, wow. The Yeti was a 4/4, or a 4/5 and a 4-mana, which is huge. Now, Spellbreaker, love the choice there. That was actually one of the better Spellbreakers he was going to get. But he is sitting at around 19 health, and that's after all the True Silver healing. Artosis with a little bit of BM there. And this is probably going to be Avenging Wrath coming out of him, just because I don't really see too much else from him besides playing the Imp Master there, just to a 2/6 actually. It's actually a pretty good stat line for the Imp Master. I never thought of that. So he has the option of doing Imp Master and maybe also Alder Peacemaker, because I'm trying to think. There's not a lot of the big ticket minions that they ran back then. You do see Argent Commander coming in, which is one of the bigger charge minions, but it was a 6-mana 4/2. It's pretty crazy to think about that was a really big choice in the deck. So we will see the Imp Master come out. I love the sequencing there to get the buff onto that instead of the Outer Peacemaker. And that's going to be now a 1/3 Spellbreaker. So, again, Crip is just going to be on the back foot. He's going to have to try to find something, and he doesn't really have too much in his hand at this point. Divine Favor is not going to help him at all either. Now, the Argent Protector is going to be pretty handy here. Oh wait, no, that is 1/3 now. I forgot about that. So yeah, never mind. I wouldn't like that choice. So okay, so he's actually forced to use Argent Commander defensively. That is just really bad. That's something you want to be doing. So, oh my God, Artosis, why are you BMing so much? So anyway, Argent Commander to trade off the other Argent Commander, and he's going to use that Imp to clear the board as well. So now he has a 3/3 and a 4/3 on his hand. I didn't realize it was a 4/3. So a 3/3 and a 4/3 on the side now of Artosis, and Crip here trying to find some kind of answer, and it might just be double hammer here. I don't know if it would be the best choice, and he doesn't think so either. So he's going to go with the Scarlet Crusader to deal with that Peacemaker. But if you look at it, he's down to 16 health. Artosis has a really good spot in this game right now. He could decide a Spellbreaker here, but I feel like Avenging Wrath is going to be really good at this stage. It's going to do 2 damage to the Crusader and then 6 to face unless you are unlucky. Wow, the first 2 hits, so never mind. That's going to go all to face now. He's going to be down to 7 health, and there's going to be 2 minions on the board of Artosis, and this is now Artosis' games to lose. He also has the Argent Commander in his hand. This is going to be really tough for Crip. He doesn't find something that he needed, so it is going to be another hammer coming in to try to find some sort of answer. The Noble Sacrifice will keep him a little bit healthy. The only problem is, though, the only thing that will be coming at him is going to be that 1/1, so he's only saving himself 1 point of damage at this point, which, in my opinion, isn't worth it. So he now has a decision of what minions he wants to throw down. I really like the idea of having the Argent Squire coming down. He has, 5 mana left? Going ahead and then Hero Power and buffing that with a Divine Shield is going to be your best bet, in my opinion. I feel like you also want to throw down the Argent Squire just in case. So this is now Artosis' game to lose, like we said earlier. The Argent Squire in his hand. Does he find any sort of buff? It's going to be inequality. That's something that he doesn't need right now. I'm not sure Pyromancer was in the game at this point. Or no, it would have been because it's a classic card. So I don't know if Pyro Equality combo was really thought of back then, or if it even really worked. But so we do see that Equality comes out, but it's not going to help him this turn around. So he's 2 damage off of lethal at this point. So he could decide to throw down the Argent Commander and maybe even the Imp Master as well, and just go face and hope, hey, you need to somehow clear my damage of all but 2, or of my board of all but 2 damage. Can you do that? I don't know if it's going to be really a easy thing for Crip to do, but this is now the decision that could cost Artosis the game right now. Because think about the 4/3 Argent Commander going face. That's now not only 3 health, but also a Divine Shield that Crip has to fight through, and it's going to really take nothing short of Consecrate at this point to keep him alive, and we know it's not in his hands. So maybe Inequality as well will do fine to keep him alive. But this is where the big decision comes in. Can he draw the card that he needs? It's actually going to be a Ragnaros the Fire Lord. So let's see here. If he actually clears the board of everything except the Argent Commander, go ahead and Ragnaros and go ahead and Noble Sacrifice, he can stay alive for this turn. I feel like that is the play right now for him to live. He's going to have to Noble Sacrifice, Argent, Abusive Sergeant onto his 2/2 to kill the Imp Master. He needs to Noble Sacrifice so the Argent Commander can't hit his face, and he needs the Ragnaros to really just be out there to be a big board presence. And I feel like that is the biggest play he has right now, and we'll have to see if he get lucky. If that hits the Argent Commander, that is going to help him down the line get rid of that Divine Shield. That's what he needs right now, but it's going to go face instead. So we're going to see Artosis here not draw something that he needs right now, and that Spellbreaker is not going to be useful either. So the other option he has right now is to actually go ahead and Equality and throw in the Argent Commander into the Ragnaros, but still he needs to get rid of that Noble Sacrifice somehow. And there's no way to silence your opponent to get rid of those secrets either, so that'd be really broken if that was the fact. But I feel like this turn he might just have to... Let's see. Would he have to just go face, get rid of the Noble Sacrifice, and then just throw everything down and hopefully just flood the board and make it so that Crip can't answer? Because if you think about it, he'll have a... Let's see, he'll be down to 2 damage. He'll have a 5/2 and a 5/4 on the board. It's going to be really tough for Crip to deal with that, which he would actually just have a perfect amount of minions to deal with it. Oh, wait, no. It won't be a 5/2. It would be a 5/4. There would both be 5/4s because I forgot about the Divine Shield. I think that's the play. Flood the board. Make it so that your opponent has to get something on the top deck in order to answer. We'll have to see if he agrees or not. He's holding on that Spellbreaker for now. Still not going to use it. So it looks like he's just going to make his board as strong as possible. Go ahead, get rid of that. The Divine Shield is not going to do too much in this case. But is he going to go ahead and Spellbreaker as well? Because if he floods the board right now, then Crip is in a really rough spot. He only has really enough things to clear off the taunts. But if he doesn't Spellbreaker, then the Ragnaros can get lucky, win the 50-50, and get rid of the 3/3 as well. So he is going to leave that up. And because of the True Silver Champion, that does give Crip another out here. He could use that to clear off the 2/2, so he'll be down to 2 health. Then he could clear off the 4/4. That wouldn't work, though, because it would still leave up the 3/3. So he does have to swing into that 3/3 in order to stay alive here. So I feel like if he just dumps his hand, go ahead and use Divine Favor as well. He won't be able to use his hero power, but he will have a board presence still after this turn, so I don't think it really matters too much. He has to dump that into the 3/3 in order to stay alive. 1 damage on the side. We know he used both Argent Commanders, and we don't know if he has any other charge in this deck, so the only thing that can do it is a weapon right now. We know that Sword of Justice, the hammers as well, are available to get that 3 damage in, but this is really the only way to survive, in my opinion. Or he could go and try to get lucky and win the 50-50. So I think he is now realizing what he has to do, and we'll have to see if he goes ahead and does it, or if he does something different that we didn't expect. He might try to play the 50-50, keep himself at 4 health instead of just 1, so that the hammer can't kill him, as well as actually none of the weapons except for another True Silver would be the only ones that can't kill him. So he's actually playing around this right now, seeing if he could draw anything else to help him. That Knife Juggler would have been great next turn, but it's not going to help him at this stage. So does he take the 50-50, or is he going to try to make the sure bet? He's going to take the sure bet that he stays alive. If that Ragnaros would have missed... Oh wait, it would still been 1 damage. I would have actually liked to see him going face there instead, because if that 3/3 survives, it still would have been the damage, but that's going to be the Consecrate. It didn't matter, so that is going to be Crip, sorry, losing this as Artosis takes. I kept saying Trump, I'm so, YouTubers that I watch, that's what I'm thinking of, but I think the only misplay coming out here that he could have done better was if he would have went face instead, if he would have allowed that 50-50 Ragnaros to happen. What either happens is he takes that 3 damage anyway because Ragnaros misses and then loses to an additional Abusive Sergeant, and that's it. That's really it, is the Abusive Sergeant that's giving him that additional lethal. Or if he lets that 50-50 happen and it does happen to hit him, the Consecrate doesn't kill him. So I feel like that was a little bit of a misplay at the end there. I think he should have went ahead and actually swung face, allowing that 3/3 to stay up and hope that Ragnaros takes it. If not, you're still at the same life total that you were earlier. So that was just the one misplay I feel like that Crip did that could have turned the game. So thank you guys for watching again. Sorry that this is late. It's actually the next day right now, so I am technically behind. But I'm going to upload this as soon as possible. And I will be back tomorrow with... hopefully another tournament for you guys of some sort, or at least some sort of big style gameplay. I want to get back to the LJL as soon as possible as well. And yeah, thank you guys for your patience, and we'll see you guys next time.